So now I'll be learning about system testing. Okay. So now what do you mean by system testing? That is in the development testing. In development testing, this is the third type of testing that will be done on the software application. Okay. So what do you mean by system testing? System testing is a type of testing that is done. Uh, that is done in to the entire that is okay to the entire software application, that is from starting till the end we do testing. Okay, so that is what system testing is. That is testing the overall functionalities of the software product. Okay, software application or software product, right? So whether it is whatever various types of requirements are there: user requirements, functional requirements, non-functional requirements, right? System requirements, all those things. Okay, that is entire guys. So nothing will be left. Okay, that is, so everything. Okay, so everything will be tested. Okay, so it's a type of testing which is done on the entire software application. Okay, that is from start. That is like example of Facebook. Okay, if you take an example of Facebook. Okay, so first what do you do? First you test the login page first, right? And then once the login is successful, that is based on whatever you know input data you give, right? That is for username and password, right? So based on that you will be so once the login is successful, then it moves on to the next page, right? And then what all modules you see there, what all functionalities you see, you'll be testing all everything. Okay, till you till you log out. Okay, till you log out the Facebook account. Okay, so everything you will be testing. Okay, that is starting from starting till the end. Okay, that is when you execute the software application, okay, any software application or software product, right? So you will be testing the overall functionalities. Okay, whether it is functional, non-functional, right? So as I said, user okay, whether it is user based requirements or system based requirements. Okay, so everything will be tested here. Okay, so that is what system testing is. Okay, so this again will be done by developers and sometimes software testers also. Okay, so now what are the so here are the key features of system testing. Okay, so what are the key features here? We can see integration of components. So what do you mean by this? System testing involves integration. Integration, just by the name here. Okay, integration means combining. We combine all together. Okay, of all the components of the system to ensure that they work together as expected. Okay, that is combining and then testing. Okay, to ensure that they all are working perfectly. Okay, based on the customer requirements or needs. Okay, end to end testing, as I already said, system testing means since we test the overall functionalities. Okay, so it's a end to end testing. Okay, system testing involves testing the system from end to end. Means end to end means from start. Okay, from scratch till the end. Okay, from the start till the end. Okay, so when you're when you're executing any web application, right? So starting, like if it has a login page, okay, so starting from the login page till the logout page. Okay, that is how. Okay, end to end testing. Okay, end to end testing will be done. And yeah, so including all the interface and interactions between the components, obviously. Okay, so real world environment system testing is performed in a real world environment that stimulates the actual usage of the system. Okay, black box testing, it is a type of black box testing. So what do you mean by this is we'll be learning about this later in other videos. Okay, I'll be explaining more about white box testing and black box testing, which is very important for your exams. Okay, so they can ask that. So black box testing, it is so system testing is actually a type of black box testing. Okay, so what do you mean by this is system testing is usually performed as a black box testing technique. Okay, where the tester does not have access to the internal working of the system. So what do you mean by this is so we are just so you have to understand one thing about the system testing is, here we are not doing any, we have nothing to do with the internal working of the system. Internal working means the background, whatever, we are not dealing with the coding here, that is okay. So internal means coding, whatever, whatever, with the help of languages, or you will be implementing the software application, right? Like C, Java, C Sharp, whatever. So that is the internal part actually, okay. So when these type when the developers, or actually most of the time, mostly the software tester will be testing, okay. This type of testing will be done by the system testing will be done by mostly software testers actually, okay. So the software testers mostly don't have any knowledge about the internal working of the system, internal workings, that is that is the implementation part, okay. They have nothing to do with the implementation part here. They only deal with the interface part. Interface part means whatever you see, okay. That is like example I've given Facebook, right? So whatever, like from login to logout, that is full interface part. That is your interface actually, okay. So that is what, so you are only testing the interface part, that you are not dealing with the implementation part here, okay. So this you have to understand. So that is what black box testing means here, okay. Black box testing means it is a type of testing technique, it is actually, okay, uh, which deals with which deals with the internal working actually, okay. Sorry, which does not deal with the internal working actually, okay. So that is what it means here, right? Okay, so test scenarios. System testing involves the creation of test scenarios. Test scenarios nothing but some sort of test, like how we prepare an office suit, right? So we prepare one test scenario, okay. That is some sort of document there, okay, where we'll be preparing a lot of test cases, as I have said, is nothing but conditions, okay. Conditions, as well as we'll be writing some test data also in that, okay. So test scenarios. System involves the creation of test scenarios that cover all possible use cases, okay. Use cases and scenarios that the system may encounter in the real world. And then test data. Test data are nothing but input data actually, okay. So system testing requires the creation of test data that stimulates the real world data that the system will encounter, okay. So it requires what, obviously. So when we are doing testing, we need to define some set of input data, okay. Like example, like if you're testing login page, okay. So you'll be writing one test case, like username, password, right? So for username, password, obviously, how you do testing, obviously, like for username you will be giving some input data, like uh, you know uh, obviously there will be some sort of constraints also for that, right? So that only characters or numbers and some special characters, maybe special characters are not allowed, like something like that. We might implement the constraint that is in the coding part, right? So we'll be testing there, okay, whether when we are you know writing when we are typing only the alphabets, okay, when we are giving alphabets as input, whether it is working or not, right? And if we are giving a set of numbers, okay, that is for username, whether it is accepting or not, right? And then for password, whether all the characters, like special characters and all, some they're also in password also, we will be having some set of constraints, right? So in password, whether like some constraints, like there has to be compulsorily 6 to 8 digits, right? So if you are giving these many characters, whether it is accepting or not, if you are exceeding more than the whether we are exceeding the limit, okay. So what happens and all those things, okay. That is what test data, that input data which we give, okay, which we give, okay, for for username, password, I have said, okay. So that will be given, okay, in order to perform testing. And then coming to the system testing process, okay. So what are the steps that will be taken place. Okay, so system testing process here, obviously test first planning will be done. Okay, we need to identify some sort of objectives, and we need to create a test plan. Okay, basically some sort of outline. Okay, and some say schedules also, and then we'll be preparing what test case design will be prepared. Okay, so test cases are designed to cover various scenarios and functionalities of the system. This includes creating scenarios, test data, and expected results. Okay, expected results, actual result, expected results based on whatever input you give. Okay, test data here is input data. Okay, whatever we want to test with the help of those data. Okay, and then we check with the help of those data what actual output we are getting and what is the expected result we are supposed to get. Okay, like that, all those things. Okay, everything will be we have to design that. Okay, test case design means everything. So whatever you want to design, like whatever module, like username, password, for username, some we will be even giving what the IDs. Okay, for every each and everything, test IDs also will be there. Okay, so this you have to remember IDs. And then main thing is the conditions, and then test datas. Okay, and expected result, actual result, and many more things will be there. Okay, so that has to be designed properly there. Okay, in order to perform testing, that is to execute testing. Test environment setup is a combination of hardware and the system software and the software environment. Okay, so which includes what configuring hardware, software, networks, and database and all. Okay, test execution, the actual testing is performed according to the test plan and test cases. Okay, obviously when we are designing a test case, right, so after you prepare the test case, only after you design the test case only you can perform test execution. Okay, so that is as I have said, for username and password you'll be just defining the input data for those things. Okay, and then execute means you will be uh, that is when you while performing testing you will give those input data, and then you check, that is execution. Okay, then that is like how you execute program, no, C programming and other stuffs. Same like that, you execute this test cases. Okay, defect management, any defects or issues identified during testing are logged, tracked, and managed. This involves documenting the defects. Okay, obviously if any sort of defects or issues, okay, will be identified during testing. Okay, that is if you encounter such things, so that will be logged, tracked, and managed. Okay, and also documenting such defects also is important here. Okay, documenting defects. Okay, that is so and so defects have come, that has to be documenting is like report will be prepare report also will be prepared. Okay, so what all defects to define those defects. Okay, what all defects we are getting in the during the execution of the test. Okay, so prioritizing them and then working with the development team to resolve them. So this will be done. Okay, that is in defect management. And the next process is what that is under system testing, regression testing. Okay, after defects are fixed, regression testing is performed to ensure that the changes have not introduced new issues and that system still functions are expected. So what do you mean by this? This is another type of testing here. Okay, that is, so once if you identify any sort of defects in the software application when you're performing test, right, so obviously you might have to do some changes in the program, you might have to do some changes in the in the coding part, right? So then only your defect will be, whatever defect you're getting will be fixed, right? And once that has been done, then again you need to check. Okay, you need to test. Okay, in order to see. Okay, so that in order to ensure that, so whatever changes you have done in the in the implementation part, okay, that is in the coding part, in order to solve the the defects. Okay, defects, errors, or issues, whatever, right? So that ensuring that whatever changes has been done in order to fix those defects, it doesn't reflect to the other part of the program, we can see. Okay, so that type of testing is known as your regression testing. Okay, so I hope you have understood this so far, right? So yeah, so that will be done here. That is once a defect is fixed. In order to do that, obviously you need to do some changes in the implementation part. Okay, right? So once you have done that, you need to do regression testing. You need to perform regression testing. Regression testing after defects are fixed, that is right. So regression testing is performed to ensure that whatever changes have been done, that doesn't introduce any other issues again. Okay, so that is why it's very important to conduct such type of testing. And then test closure once testing is complete, and also executed, and test summary report is prepared, documenting testing activities, results, and any remaining issues. Okay, so that is complete whatever things you have been done. Okay, lessons learned are also captured for future improvements. Okay, so that is what it is. Okay, so test closure, that's all about system testing. So sometimes they might ask, what do you mean by regression testing? As I've already explained about this, right? So they have even given definition here, guys. Regression testing is a software testing technique that involves re-executing. Okay, retest also you can say, re-executing also you can say, re-executing a subset of all tests, or simply you can just say or write. It is a software testing technique that involves re-executing or retesting all the test cases. Okay, or using automated capture. You can skip this if you want. Just in simple terms you can just write. Okay, to ensure that changes made to the software does not introduce or does not reflect to another part of program, or does not introduce any new defects. Okay, or cause existing ones to reappear. So this is what regression testing is. For 2 marks, guys, they can ask this. Okay, so please prepare well. Thank you.